going back to the dynamic content and the navigation menus, you remember that I created the form test 3. So we'll assume that's our pre-construction one. So we've got the pre-construction information and then the form underneath it. This appears in the list here under forms. Agent forms, because it's the forms that we've created ourselves. So this isn't common to every other agent. These are specifically for you. So these are content areas, again, tied to forms that we've created. Company forms would be ones that I've created or the defaults that are there. So if it has a 2 after it, it's one that I've created. If it's duplicate of another one, so the original was contact us, the one that I created is here, contact us 2. You can create one, call it contact us 3. You can change them however way you want to the limits that are allowed. But going back to test 3, so I want to add pre-construction to what we've got. So I just drag that page over because it's a content page now. And I'm going to change what it says so that people understand it's pre-construction. And I can't type because I'm sitting too far away. And I'm going to save that.
That's where I got stuck. I was
So now we go into the website. We'll see our pre-construction. So that takes us to the page we've created. Blah, 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 the net, blah, blah, blah.
So it's really created by you, or we have to do it?
You can create this. I can do it, or you can do it. It's much preferred. I will put up the basic pages with all the information that you need. It's much preferred you create a very specific one to sell yourself along with the project.
But the project is from the brokerage. Is it going to be done by you automatically every time they have it?
Yeah.
So it's going to be under this?
It'll be there, and you'll have to move it into place.
Just like how he did it right now, he moved it over. This step of moving over, you have to do it, correct?
Right. So for, again, going back to...
Yeah. Unfortunately...
automatically by the company?
We don't have authority, so you can display whatever you want on your pages. You can accept to display it or not.
And it will have pretty much all the information, like whatever you guys...
Yeah, we'll create the sufficient information that's necessary for a client, and then you can change it and modify it accordingly, add info to it or subtract info to it. Because remember that there's going to be a lot of agents, and everyone does their business differently. So, but only we can create it. Unfortunately, we cannot customize it for every single one. But we can create a general content. Now, you might say, well, that's too much information. I don't want to give that much information to my clients. No problem, just subtract information for it. Or you might say, well, that's too little information. And my business motto is that I want to give as much information as there is available. Then you have all the resource files, everything else. You can just add on more pictures, add on more info to it.
Oh, so you have pictures?
Sure. Well, depending on the project, as much whatever resources that becomes available to us, then we give that to you. So some of those projects had pictures, some of them don't provide pictures. It totally depends on the project as well.
So you email us something that we have to download it in our computer, and from our computer we have to upload it to our website. Is that the way it
Yeah.
works?
So let's say when a new pre-construction project comes, right? You will get an email notification, just like, for example, about the Indigo one that came about 2 days ago. So you get information about that. In that email, then it will also contain information that your CRM letters are ready, or your pages is ready. If it is ready, it will let you know, and you can go ahead and drag and drop it. If it is not ready, then there is going to be a seminar for that particular project. Then at a later date or at that particular seminar, they will let you know they are ready. Go ahead and publish it for yourself. So whenever they become ready to be published, you will get some form of a notification saying their web pages or CRM or whatever is ready for you to publish. Go ahead and do so, and then you'll know to just drag and drop.
That one question was that we receive an email through the company that this is the project.
Right.
So I have to download it to my computer, personal computer, and from there I have to upload it to this In
No.
one computer?
No. No. See, there's multiple components when a project is sent to you. One is, let's say, the project files. Those are informational files for you. You can do whatever you want with them. Okay? So it's for you to read up on, it's for you to do that. Now, you might have a website that you want to put up pictures and things like that. You have more than flexibility to go ahead and do that. In regards to a page about the particular project that we will publish, though that info will already be there. You don't have to download and think all that stuff. It's that info will already be there. You just drag and drop it and say, publish it on my website or not. That's all.
I mean, we can easily identify it, like you will name it.
Yeah.
And in the email you'll get all the direction that you need as well. Because the more information and the plainer language it is, the quicker you'll be able to get it and have it done. So I don't want to just, well, they should know it's going to be there, because that's not good enough, right? No one can run their business on, they should know that it's there, right? So when a project is released, we should have within a day at the most, and you know how the project timings are. It's very fast, everything moves quickly, and unfortunately we don't always have the specific amount of time to get as much stuff about it that we want to do, although we're getting better at it. So by the time you have the project information, the pages should be up there with the images, and then you'll be able to either use that page or just copy sections of it and create your own page, so that you don't have to do a whole lot of customization, although the more the better, right? But you don't have to do a whole lot, and if you just want to simply use what we've got, in it goes.
So one thing that he specified is that we, as soon as we get sufficient leeway, then we create those pages or the CRMs, we'll create those and then we'll release it to you. Having said that, it is, when the information becomes available to a brokerage, is very volatile. We don't know exactly when that information gets released. Certain projects are kept under, it's confidential. No one gets to keep that information. As soon as the builders are ready, then they send us that information and say, okay, it's time to go. But we don't want to delay sending you the information, so we will send you the information if the website and things are not ready, and then as soon as they become ready, then we'll let you know that, okay, these pages are ready, you can upload them, you can send this email information. It totally depends. Certain projects, we get maybe 2 weeks of ahead notification, good, then we can create the material and release to you in a timely manner. Other ones are like, here's the information, it's being released tonight. Oh, okay, so then we just have to, quickly go ahead and come up with something.
So you guys don't work 24 hours?
Unfortunately.
He does. I know he does.
Okay, so now you're throwing me off. So you can see where the basics of the information goes in. You can see where the templates are chosen. The best teacher for the templates is to play with them. Go through the 8 steps, throw in your abracadabras and your A to Z's, and just so you can identify what those areas are. When I did it myself, I really just copied what the line was before the text was and put that in where the text was, so that I knew if it said agent profile goes here, and I wrote agent profile goes here, and I looked at the template and I saw agent profile goes here, I knew where it was. Because we're all starting from scratch, really. I may have a few more hours working with the system, but every template lays out things differently. Every template doesn't necessarily show certain areas. So you can play with it as much as you want. You won't break anything. There's not going to be any extra charges. You haven't signed up for anything yet. If you decide the system isn't as great or as friendly as you want, we've got more training coming so that you can better use this to the system. The content that we're going to be creating and making available really only work through the Lone Wolf system. We can't support a bunch of other different systems. It would be way too much work. We'd need way too many people just to manage the content and information going around. That being said, we're going to do the best that we can to support you. And the best that we can right now is the Lone Wolf system. So I do strongly encourage you to do that. It is still broken down into different areas. Again, we've gone over dynamic content, the website content. These are mostly the things that you've gone through in those first 8 steps. If they're filled in, great. If they're not filled in, you can change them. You can add them here. Not all these content areas are in use for every template again. Some are locked down, like the website footer. You can't make any changes here. We've locked that down. RICO requires certain levels of information to be shown. I have added a Facebook button. So if you have a Facebook button, you can add your own web page link to it.
So that's the only place you can, or we recommend you put your social media links?
Well,
on Twitter, or is there another place?
And again, there's different areas of templates that allow certain customization. So for here, you'll see the Facebook button at the bottom of every page. One of the things that their templates lack is the little social media icons all over the place. So it's not ideal as far as that goes. I'm going to be changing these up so that they just have the smaller buttons, but I'm only going to stick to maybe 6 or 8 small icons that are there. I will put the information in here, and it'll be up to you to either use it or delete it, because it's going to show up on your template. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, delete the YouTube icon, don't put a link in there, and you're perfectly fine. But I think it's important that this type of aspect is shown across the website so that people can see that you're active. They can connect you in areas other than your website. Everyone's social media these days, and it's just a fact of life that they're expecting to find information in certain places, and if they can't, someone else has the information they're looking for. So again, you'll have to familiarize yourself with the information. This is default. It will be expanded on, and it'll be put into place. If you run into a problem with that it isn't as you thought it should be, let me take a look at it, because when I put up the default templates, it locks into place, and then if I change it, it may not update on your end depending on what changes have been done, so then I can always look at that, go in, change the code that needs to be changed, and it's good. You don't have to go through the Lone Wolf Health system as far as that goes. So that's the website footer. The website header, not everywhere shows that. You can see this template does not show the Facebook icon at the top. But there are other templates that do. So it's the type of thing that, again, you want to look at how important is it based on how much I like this template's look. We don't use the newsletter notes. That's from their previous version, so it really doesn't matter. The auto response we don't use anymore. Again, that's from their old version. Since they've updated their CRM system, there's an automatic confirmation email that goes out to people that have signed up for anything that is compliant with CASL. So we can't make changes there anymore. So that isn't in use. Because they have American clients, it's there that they can use it on different templates. It's available to them. Same thing with the marquee. This isn't in use anymore. It's been replaced by dynamic content. But because they have clients that have had websites for 15 years and still use that, it's in place. Homepage content. Again, that was showing up down here. So this is where you would change that particular area. And this is the only place you'll be able to change that particular area. So again, it's important to go through everything, label it in some way so that you can find it later based on the template. And not every template shows that home page content. And then back to the templates where we can open them up and look.
Can you change the colors of the, what do you call those?
Banners.
The bars?
Banners.
I don't believe so.
Sometimes you can
Yeah, no.
buttons or bars, or sometimes it gives you the option to take the template but change the colors. Maybe design. We'll figure it out.
So there's I think my friend, sorry,
Sorry?
But mine says real purpose, so I
Sure.
want to change it, I like it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not-
yeah.
So you'll want to go through the template. It's very easy. That's how easy it is to change the template that you're using. Preview it and change it.
This is nice. Yeah, this is nice. Florida. Mexico. You miss Mexico much?
Silly question.
Yeah.
I'm still there, really.
Yeah.
I'm on the beach right now.